All right. And then for those of you who are here for the first time or are coming back after a long period of not being on TNT, let me remember you guys the rules we follow in here. There are pretty much only three, which is this right now is not a class. I'm a teacher, but I'm not here to teach you anything. It doesn't mean that you're not going to learn, okay? You're going to learn a lot right now. You're going to learn by watching Alisson. When he's talking some things, using English structures, sharing his experiences, you can get vocabulary, you can observe his grammar, and you can see how he's speaking, and you can learn that. You can also do the same with Jairo, with Sonia, with Katiani, with everyone in here. We're here to learn in a more natural way without correcting each other, which brings us to rule number 2. We do not correct people in here, okay? And rule number 3 is we are respectful to one another. We've got a lot of different people from different places with different beliefs. That what makes us so unique and this experience so interesting. Sonia is going to tell us the story about when she jumped off a plane. Glenn is going to tell us the story of when he jumped off a car. Leonardo is going to tell us the story of when he jumped off a horse. And we're all going to see different stories, beliefs, and stuff in here. But we have to be respectful to one another while doing that, even if we don't agree. Okay. And these are the 3 rules. We have rule number 4, which I invented. So it's not officially a rule, but it's pretty much to have fun. If you're doing TNT and you're not having fun, you're doing TNT wrong. Okay. So let's try to enjoy these here. We're in 8 people right now, which means I'm going to be dividing us into 2 rooms, okay, of 4 people each. When you get to the room, please introduce yourself, okay? Say, hello, I'm Junior, and then you guys can choose one leader for the room. How do you choose a leader? This person can volunteer, or if you guys say, oh no, I think this person should be the leader, the person wants to, this person can be the leader. The role of this person is going to keep the conversation going, ask the questions, and make sure everybody's having time to speak. Okay, so it's a great experience if you're trying to, challenge yourself more in the language. If nobody wants to be a leader in the room, there is no problem. You guys can work as a team and keep the conversation going. Okay. Any questions before I separate us? No. All right. Let me just change the configurations of the breakout rooms in here, so there won't be a timer. Now let's just go to here. And I'm opening the rooms. Here we go. I'll bring you guys back in 45 minutes. See ya. And if you weren't assigned to a room, it means that you're going to stay here with us in the main room. So shall we start by introducing ourselves? I'm going to go alphabetically, and I'm going to ask Jairo, would you introduce yourself to us, please?
Oh, sorry. A little trouble with my phone, but now can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm living here in Brazil, São Paulo. I live with my dog, 2 cats. I like to play piano. I've been, as you said, not study, but learning from the other partners here, English and Spanish since July, I think. I'm not sure, but I think it's July. And that's it. I'm here to learn.
Amazing, amazing. How many pets did you say? 2 dogs, 1 cat? 2 cats, 1 dog?
2 cats, 1 dog.
2 cats, 1 dog. So the cats, they have the upper hand. They are in advantage.
They are, yeah, and no, like they treat each other very, very well. So I wouldn't say advantage or disadvantage, but general, they treat themselves well, at least until now. So that's fine.
They're well-behaved kids.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Great. Thank you, Jairo. Now, alphabetically, JK. Kajani, would you introduce yourself to us, please?
Yes. Can you hear me? I'm Catiane. I'm from Brasilia. I'm married. We don't have kids and pets, but I had a turtle once, but she grew a lot, and I gave she for the zoo. And I'm here to share my journey and learn with you. And I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
It's amazing to have you here as well. So wait a second, you had a turtle?
I had.
What was the name of the turtle?
She was Nippo.
Nippo. Oh.
Yeah. But when I bought her, the guy said me, "Oh, she's a little turtle. You put the house, and she will continue the same kind." But it's not true. She grew a lot, and she become so big for her house, and I need to give her to the zoo. And I had a rabbit once too, but she did a lot of pee and poo, and I waste a lot of time to clean the house, and I gave him to the zoo to stop it.
All right. Yes. Rabbits, they poo a lot in places they shouldn't. And they're not the kind of animals you can like housebreak, like dogs or cats. They can teach where to do things. They're going to do things wherever they want, including your bed. They seem to have something to be very attracted to the bed. So, all right. And what about you, Sarah? Would you introduce yourself to us, please?
Okay, I am living in Curitiba. I was born in Santa Catarina. Today in Curitiba is very, very rainy. It's very cold. I have one daughter. I am married 35 years old. Oh my gosh. This 10 October 10, I made the birthday in marriage. And I like ride a bike. I run, but in Curitiba is impossible. Is running a lot every day. Every day, weekend is complicated. But no problem.
It's easier
Watch TV weekend.
Yeah, it's easier to count the days that are not raining than the days that are raining, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
It's the same song, né? The run and raining. Running. Yeah.
But then, was it your marriage anniversary or your daughter's marriage anniversary?
No, I and my husband. Yes, then married 35 years old.
35 years, that's so cool.
Yes. Several years with together is no common, but
no, but that's great. That's great.
No impossible. My husband is very nice because aturail não é fácil.
If you're saying,
because when I conversation about this, I changed the the husband with problem because the man but no is sometimes I am very complicated, but
but I can vouch for you. Men are complicated. Men are terrible. Right. Okay, it's nice to have to know that. I want to be married for 35 years one day. Let's see what happens. Okay, guys. Look, this crazy person right here is Junior, and this here is Reinaldo. No, just kidding. My imaginary friend. So I'm Julio. I'm 20 years old, as guys, some of you know. I am an English teacher. I've been an English teacher for 3 years already. And I've been working here on Talk and Talk for 2 of these years. And it's been really great. It's been awesome to have the chance of being with you guys here every Friday and every Wednesday to discuss like the craziest questions you guys have ever seen, right? Like whether to kiss a crocodile or a bear, but it's been really amazing, and that's pretty much it. Now, let's get started on the questions. Hacheri, have you been in the midst or in the middle of danger before?
Yes.
Like,
I've been robbed once. My best friend and I, we left the church, and I was going to drop her off her house, and the robbers came in a car, and they put their car in front of my car, and like a barrier, and 3 teenagers, they put a gun in my head, and it was a terrible moment. They took my car, they took my purse, my belongings, and I was very afraid because he said me, get out of the car and keep going and don't look back. In this moment, I thought, oh my God, he will shoot me in my back. But thank God this didn't happen. And one week after the police caught them, and they recovered my car and my belongings, and I'm alive, and thank God. But it was a terrible moment in my life.
Yeah, we're really glad that nothing worse happened, but it's quite a shocking experience, right?
Yeah.
And what about you, Sonia?
For me, it's very terrible when I remember, but it is necessary sometimes remember this situation. A long time when I work in other company, my daughter today has the 32 years old. When happened this situation, Bruna 77 years old. I remember when I walking walking until my work, the guys behind, atrás de mim, I remember, walking, why apertava o passo, but the guys also, and when I I stayed very nervous. I virei para trás and in front the guys and why? What do you happen with me? And the guys, no, but these hours 7 a.m. In the morning, and the guys assustou, and I assustei, but I when I start in the work, I cry a lot because my reaction no good, because the guys can have the arma. I don't know, but is very, very dangerous for me, this situation. But no problem, because I am strong a lot with yes.
Yeah, it's like it didn't happen like an assault or anything, but it's still like you feel afraid, right? Even if the thing exactly didn't happen, it's still a period where we're wondering a lot of stuff. We get very afraid of something happening. And also, like, at that moment, you had the reaction of screaming at them when they were still a little far from you, but like, you never know, they could have a gun or something like that. So it is quite difficult. And what about you, Mr. Yair?
Well, I've been in some dangerous situations. I remember some of them. I remember to be in the middle of shooting, I remember also when I was a teenager. Well, when I was a teenager, another teenager come to me trying to steal my bag. But that's a funny history, because in the end of the history, we became friends. So that was like different, I would say. I will try to tell you the story in a short words. But I was in the center of São Paulo, in a neighbor called Sé, like Sé. I was a teenager. I was there to meet some friends, and I was just walking like random without know exactly where my friend was, and I remember that teenager coming walking beside of me and looked to me, and I was like looking for someone, and like I saw him twice in my left side, and then he just stopped and passed by me in my back and kept walking in my right side. And in a specific moment where we are like not totally alone, but with a few people around us. He touched me, but very simple, like with his shoulder, and he said, what do you have in your bag? I want everything inside of there. And I said, I don't have nothing in my bag. And he said, all right, let me see. And I like I drop it in and start to show him that I just had books and like a lot of papers. I wasn't an E student at that time. And he asked me, but I am hungry and I want something to eat. You don't have money or something? And I said, no, I don't have it. I just have credit card. And he said, all right, so could you buy something for me? And I said, yes, of course. So I went to him to the store, and I bought him a lunch. And we start to converse. We start a conversation, these kind of things. So that's why we become like not really friends, but like he at the start of the history, he was trying to steal me. He said, "I want everything that inside of your bag." But in the end, we were in a lunch store, eating together and just having I wouldn't say nice, but a normal conversation.
A conversation, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Oh.
one of the situations.
Okay, that's not usually how these things happen.
Yeah, that's for sure. Of course not.
But
No
that's
uncommon, né? This situation uncommon.
Yeah, very uncommon. But I
And
think it happens just because I was a teenager, he was as well, and we were like in the same age. I think he saw like he realized that, oh, this guy don't have nothing inside of the backpack, so what else can I do here? And he asked me, and I said, all right, I can buy it for you because I don't have money, just this credit card, and that's it. But I'm pretty sure that it's not common.
really isn't. Oh, why? To me, it happened something similar when I was, I guess, around 13 or something. My sisters, they used to work in the same school I studied. My other sisters, they worked there. So my mom would make lunch, and when I was going to school, I would take lunch to them. And one day I just like got their lunch and I was walking to school. And then a guy, like pretty much my age, maybe 1 or 2 years older, but like bigger than me, started like was going the same direction, was going down the street. So he started talking to me, and I started talking to him. Like, oh, we're going to school and everything. I don't know where they live, this kind of stuff. And then when we got, because I used to live in an avenue, so I would like walk for around a kilometer in this avenue and I would get to school. In the middle of the way, if you turn to the right, you would get to the police station. So he walked with me from near my house until the corner of the police station. When we got there, he announced that he was going to rob me, that he wanted the bag I was holding. And I was really young and really dumb. So when he asked me for the bag, he's like, give me the bag. And I was like, no. And then he asked, no, like, give me the bag. And I was like, no, that's my sister's lunch. Why are they going to be hungry? I was a child. In my head, I was like, no, I'm not going to let him take the lunch because they're going to be hungry. But then he had a knife, and then he took the knife out of his shorts, and then I gave him the bag. And then he ran. So he waited until we got to the corner of the police station. Because then when we got there and he robbed me, he told me to keep walking on the same street. And he went on the direction of the police station. So then he would know, if I went to the police station, he would know I did. So I had to go straight to school. I got there, I started crying a lot. And that was pretty much it. But the only things he took were two marmitas with stroganoff and mashed potatoes, which was a pretty good lunch. So I at least I hope he enjoyed. But that was pretty much that. But one thing that I think it's very, very difficult in the society we live is that, for example, with men, we have an incidence of crimes a lot smaller. For example, like I was a child, it's not that difficult to rob a child. Nowadays, for a person to rob me, a person with a 2 meters tall man, it's very difficult. You know, the person, he needs to at least have a gun, because not a lot of people, you know, look. If you look to a man with 2 meters tall, I don't fight anything. If you ask me the money, I'm just gonna give it to you and cry later. But they don't know that. But the incidence of crime with women is a lot bigger. You know? So I like, that's something very difficult. For example, like in such a situation, maybe one day she's walking on the street and there are 3 guys like walking behind her, and you never know if these people, they are going to do something to you or not, right? But there's always a chance. So I think this is really difficult. It's not like a good reality.
This situation is very incredible, because sometimes when I run, I put the cap in my mind, in my heart, and put the jaqueta, but independent the place I run alone, and the change the choose is impossible, because I like run the choose better, né? Is expensive, but I risk because is
Even shoes they rob.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's quite difficult. Okay, so that's a question here. Sonia, what do you do when you feel someone might be following you?
Oh my gosh. When I don't in front, or I am very, very nervous, very angry. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. If possible, try to confront the person.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. What about you, Jairo? What do you do when you feel someone might be following you?
Well, it depends. For example, I had this feeling when I was sorry?
Pay a lunch.
Oh, pay a lunch. Yeah, in some case, that's for sure. Yeah.
Give them a coxinha.
Yeah, but it happens with me when I was driving, for example, and when I had the same feeling. Oh, I think this car it's follow me. I don't know. I start to driving around my neighborhood, and I just speed up. Like, all right, so I think he or she, I don't know, is following me. So the only way to make sure that he is or not follow me is, at least in my mind, is speed up. So I start to drive like the movie, I forgot the name of the movie. It's like speeding, Fast and Furious. Like I start to drive like Fast and Furious to see if this guy will follow me or not. He didn't, right? So, but it depends of the situation. So sometimes I just buy something to eat, as Katyan said. But most of the time, I think I try to do something very unusual and see, just to check, like a normal person wouldn't do something like that. So I speed up or I just stop. I go around like twice, go around in the same street. So it for sure means that this person is following you, because there is no other reason to go to the same place twice, So these kind of things, but it depends. If you are comfortable, like if a woman start to follow me, I just stop and ask, did you want something? Like it depends the person, depends of the situation, the environment. If you are traveling for sure, probably, like, let's say that you are in another country, on those in this scenario, that's for sure, I will try to find a safe place to be, like, I don't know this country, I don't know the culture, so I am like a little bit nervous, so I will go to a cafeteria or something. I don't know. Like it depends, but there is different situations that most of the time I will try to face the problem, but not directly, because most of the time that I already felt this feeling, I was wrong. I had this just the feeling, but it wasn't true. At least with me, it never happened really. I had just the feeling.
All right. And what about you, Kacheni? What would you do?
Since that what happened with me, I'm so aware, and because the police chief, he said me that for sure they were following me, and so nowadays I'm so aware, and like Jairo, when I'm arrive at home and I see somebody suspicious, I go around two times or more around my house, or I called my husband to pick me up, and so I'm so aware, and because you need to pay attention in everybody. Of course, this is so hard, but it's necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, Katiana reminds me. It was like I don't know, like 3 days ago. I was going to the gym, and it was very late. And I remember to pass through 3 or 4 guys, and I don't know if it happened with you, but I pretend that I had a gun in my in my pocket. Like I start to walk and pretend, all right, there is something very dangerous in my pocket. So, oh, that's uncomfortable, So I know
Like Chris?
yeah, exactly, similar. Oh, there is a gun here. Come on, don't even look me. These kind of things. But sometimes we tend to pretend that we are dangerous, just to make sure that all right, no, don't talk with this person because I think he looks suspicious. So there are some girls do something similar, right? Like for example, when they get Uber, and they pretend to talk with their boyfriend, but she don't have really a boyfriend, but they pretended just to make the driver like aware that all right, the boyfriend is waiting her, like these kind of things. So sometimes I have these also, like pretend something.
Yes, that's something. If I feel, it happened the same thing to me as happened to Kachani. Like after the incident where I was robbed, I started paying attention to everything around, like everything. And especially if I'm walking on the street at night, I am always like aware of my surroundings if there's anyone around. I'm always looking behind trees and this kind of stuff. And if I see somebody, I don't even wait anymore to see if I'm being followed. Whenever I'm walking on the street, especially at night, and I see a person and I feel suspicious, or I'm alone in the street and there's just me and the person, I am going to look like I'm ready to punch the person. I try to evaluate, is this person able to kick my ass? Because If it's a very strong guy, I won't show that I'm ready to fight. I'm just run. I'm just gonna run. But if I try to evaluate the situation, if I see, okay, the person is smaller than me, doesn't look like a good fighter, I'm going to make sure the person, because most of the times, the robbers, the thieves, they aren't brave enough to start a confrontation or something. They are going to take advantage of the surprise factor. They want to get you off guard, so you get nervous, so you don't know how to react. But also because they don't want to risk getting caught. So most of the time, when they notice that you are aware and that you can do something, they won't approach you. So every time that I'm like alone on the street and there's another person like walking the same direction, or we're going to cross paths, I always make sure like angry face, closed fists, and I'm like looking at the person like, come, think.
The same in me. Sometimes.
As my brother said, when I was robbed, my brother said, of course, you have the dumbest face ever. You have to walk on the street with an angry face. Then I started walking on the street like this. All right. Guys.
But can I say something?
Sure, go ahead.
Because like you said, your brother said this about you. My husband in that time said me, why you didn't, you don't ask the robber to keep you, if you keep it with your purse. Say, you had to say, took the car, but give me my purse. My husband said me, why you didn't say that? And my God, it's terrible moment. You feel so nervous. Took my car, my purse. What do you want? It's different. The moment it's very terrible.
Your brain shuts down. You're just like scared. You don't know what to do, right?
Yes.
It's really difficult. It's really difficult. No, quando o garoto vem me assaltar, he pulled the bag, like, give me the bag. And I'm like, no, like, give me the bag. I'm like, no, that's my sister's lunch. You're not going to take my sister's lunch. They're going to be hungry.
Katiane live where?
Brasília.
Brasília.
Yeah.
Right.
I really admire these kind of persons. You know, they are so calm and like emotionally stabilized that they can talk with the robber, the stealer. You know, like how can you? How there are some people they say talk. All right, you can leave these, but no, this one, no, this is important for me. Don't you are not allowed to keep it. You know, to rob me this thing because it's very precious for me. You know, like these emotionally I don't know how to express. Yeah, like they are very
Calm.
Yeah, like
Like,
all right, you are robbing me, but I don't want to leave you like with all my things. There is some things that I don't allow you to rob me. You know, like what?
What?
you're like,
Yeah,
no,
and
yeah,
Go
sure,
ahead, go
no,
ahead.
you can take my wallet. Can I just get my identity
Exactly.
first? I
Yeah,
really
and
need my
that's true.
identity.
It happened. It happened. I saw some videos like people try to argument with the Steelers. You know, like I saw this kind of video. How can someone do things like that? You know, like I pretty sure that I was like, especially nowadays, I would be like frozen. Like, "Oh, what to do now? I don't know what to do." But I admire
Yes.
this kind of persons.
Yeah, yeah. My sister did it. She was robbed once. They robbed her cell phone, and she was like, "Okay, no, so can I take my ship first?" And I was like,
Exactly.
"My SIM card," and I was like, "No, dude." Guys, we won't have time to discuss a lot more, but I want to do one of the other questions, which is question number 8. Have you guys ever tried doing anything dangerous that could risk your life? I don't know, maybe skydiving or getting a poison, holding a poisonous snake, or I don't know, jumping the bonfire in Festa Junina.
Not really. I already skydiving, for example, but I did just because I was sure that it was safe. You know, like I never did something like, oh, it can hurt me seriously. You know, like nothing on purpose. I was in danger sometimes, but it wasn't on purpose. So it wasn't my choice. You know.
Uh-huh. It's not something you're gonna like be like, okay, no, I'm gonna jump from the third story, from the third floor. I think it's gonna be all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like yeah, exactly.
I remember when I travel Machu Picchu, is the way is several strong, danger, because is the escadinhas,
The
very,
steps, like,
yeah, very, very, very dangerous. When I look at the guys, oh my gosh, you don't have the support in the behind, don't have, and so oh my gosh, I very, very quer dizer, I don't remember the name in Portuguese, in English.
scared?
Corajosa.
Oh, brave.
Brave. Yes. Yeah. But
Yes.
it's very dangerous, because do you, if you caísse this situation, is don't, não sobrava nada.
If you fall, it's going to be the last time you fall.
The last time. Yes.
Oh no, I am very scared of heights, so these are the kind of stuff I don't do, like, at all. If you
Junior,
ask me,
do you drive motorcycle?
no.
Yeah, I think it's a kind of craziness thing that people do. Like they say I gonna go there with my motorcycle, but for me, hear something like I gonna put my life in risk driving like a crazy man inside of these crazy streets, you know. And so that's one thing that people usually do, and they act like it's normal, like driving in big cities like São Paulo. I think every time that someone is trying to drive motorcycle, they are putting their lives in risk. So, you know, that's one thing that people do voluntarily. Like I want to put my life in risk driving motorcycle in São Paulo. That's for sure, it's crazy.
For
Very
me,
dangerous.
driving, for me, leaving your house in São Paulo is risking your life. But
Really, why?
Anyway, walking by car, by the motorcycle. Motorcycles are really really difficult. But leaving your house in São Paulo is risking your life.
Yeah, especially if you are a guy that wants to cook, like you want to learn how to cook, but you never cooked before, you know, and I will try to do it here. There is a thing, I don't know in English, flambar. In English, how? Yeah, have you ever tried do it? Man, that it's a crazy thing to do inside of our house.
The flames going up. That's, I think people that do that have to know really well how to do it. Yeah. And what about you, Christiane? Have you ever done anything to put your life at risk?
I'm not a brave person too, like Sonia, but I don't like anything danger. But when I was a child, I learned how to swim alone, and I jumped at the swimming pool, and a very deep swimming pool, and I started to drink a lot of water and flapping my legs and my arms, and I learned a lot, but I almost died.
Oh, that's true.
But I learned
Very
by
learned.
myself.
Very good. Very good. Very good. I guess the most risky thing I've ever done when I was a child, you know what, that buses, they don't let you open like you can open like just a small piece of the window, so you don't put your head out. That's exactly why you can only open a small portion of the window. And I would still put my head out of the window in the bus. So one day, and like when you put your head inside things, it's really easy. When you try to remove it, it's the hardest part. And I had a very big head when I was a child. So one day I was going to my grandmother's house, and I put my head out the window, and then I couldn't remove it. And I got my head stuck, and I was really trying to remove it, and I couldn't. And then my mom was like, "Are you okay in there?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course, I'm doing just fine." And then I have my head out the window because I want, it's not stuck at all. And then the driver was like, and then my brother was by my side, and I'm like, "Dude, I'm stuck. Help me, help me, help me, help me, help me. I'm gonna die." And then the driver was taking a corner, he was turning on a corner, and the driver went by a lamppost, and it was really close to the window, and I almost had my head ripped off. But then my brother helped me to pull my head in right on time. And that was one of the scariest things ever. I can still see like the lamppost, like this close before I could pull my head in. And I don't think my mother knows about that. I don't know. Maybe she does. I'm going to ask her if she knows this story. All right. We have only one survivor from the other room, Mr. Brennan. How was the conversation around there?
Hello, was really great. They reminds us some funny experiences that we had as a kid, because you know what, when we are a kid, we expose ourselves to really different dangerous ways as much as possible. So it was funny to share those stories. And I especially shared this story when I was like around 6 or 7 years old, and I would touch things that I don't supposed to, and then I grab this glue called super bonded, and then I used like a lipstick, and and I couldn't talk to anyone. I just started to crying, but in a really weird way, because I was trying to cry without opening my mouth, or trying to cry like that. But hopefully everything, as you can see now here, hopefully I'm good today. Thankfully, actually. And yes, it was a really dangerous situation that I exposed myself at the time, but I don't know how my parents mastered the situation, but yeah, I'm happy that I'm here today to talk the story.
Oh my God. When your parents say like, "I'm going to glue your mouth with super bonder if you don't stop talking," Breno, he took it seriously. He's like, "Okay."
Yeah, I took it literally.
He's like, "Oh no, that sounds like a great idea. Let's try it." But yeah, that glue is terrible. With time, it wears off. Also, I think with hot water, but that's very dangerous because like sometimes, depending on the way you glue it, it can be really difficult to undo. And then it rips the whole skin. Oh, it must have hurt a lot. But thank God you can speak now. All right, you guys. Look, it's always sad when we have to go, but it was nice having you guys here. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. And well, since we were talking about danger in here and everything, let's try our best to try to make the world a safest place. Even if we can't change everything, we can sometimes like make the biggest difference ever. Something we do can be like different, can make a difference in the person's lives. If you see a person that looks like they need help, like, you know, there's someone talking to them and they seem uncomfortable or this kind of stuff, let's try to be helpful to these people and, you know, be there for others. It's really cool. And then we maybe can inspire other people to be there for others as well. And someday when we need help, someone might be there for us as well. And then we can, like, you know, make a big difference without making a big difference. But that's pretty much it. Love you guys. Have an amazing Friday, a great weekend. Drink water, okay, or energy drink if you need. But and well, oh, wait a second. I almost forgot the link of the feedback.
Yes.
If you guys can please leave the feedback of the class, talking about how you felt, what you thought, giving us suggestions as well. And then I see you guys in the next immersion. Okay.
Thank you very much.